Hello everyone and welcome to my EU4 Let's Play, or rather, Europa Universalis 4. This is the sequel to Europa Universalis 3, and I'm going to be playing as Bavaria because I want to basically redo my old Let's Play because I was bored with it and I decided that EU4 would probably be more fun to play with. So this game's a little different to EU3. The graphics are better, the gameplay's pretty different because some of the original things from EU3 aren't actually in EU4, like Infamy, for example, so that's a good thing. So once again, you know, if you've never seen this game or any other Paradox game, basically you can pick any country and play anywhere from, you know, around the 1400s all the way up into 1821, which is when Napoleon died, so historically, so you can pick any date here and roll it up, even from anywhere from 100 years all the way down to, like, well, I don't know, like, just single day even. So let's go back down to 1444. So this game starts in 1444, the 11th of November. EU3 actually started in 1399, so it gives you a little bit less time to play in, but it's actually more fun than EU3 from what I've seen. So, in this game it's a little bit different because you actually have ideas that your country is famous for, and you basically have these normally. So, since I'm playing as Bavaria, I have a starting idea of 10% better cavalry combat ability, and inflation is 10% cheaper to reduce. I also have 5% more imperial authority if I have all of my things researched, basically. There's a bunch of others. Bavaria isn't a very strong country overall, according to its ideas. If you really want to become super powerful in military, you want to pick Prussia, which is actually Brandenburg or the Teutonic Order. Either one of them can form Prussia. But you know something? I want a real challenge. Because Brandenburg and the Teutonic Order can become extremely strong, you know, if you just basically fight only one guy every few years or so. So I'm going to play as Bavaria, and since my Let's Play in Victoria 2 is going pretty well, I'm going to continue that some time from now. I'm also going to continue the one in Crusader Kings 2, as well as the Walking Dead and a bunch of others. Star Wars Empire at War, Hearts of Iron, all of them. I'm going to get to all of them eventually, but I want to do this one for now. So, without further ado, let's begin this grand crusade to conquer the world as 15th century Bavaria. A minor German power that is but a mere puppet of the Holy Roman Empire. Württemberg, Württemberg. There we go. Now we're in the game. Alright. So as you can probably tell, it's a little bit different because it's a little more realistic looking. You can kind of see things a little bit more easily. So, one of the biggest changes right now is, as you can see, it's a little bit different up here. There's no infamy, thank God. Legitimacy, stability, and prestige are still around, so is manpower and cash. But there's actually a new thing now. It's called power projection. It's actually pretty recent. And basically this gives you some bonuses by making rivals and prosecuting wars. So, since I have some missions here, yes, in this game you can actually choose missions instead of just having them handed to you, like, for example, become friends with the Pope if you already are enemies with him, that kind of stupid mission. So, this one is probably the best one so far because I don't really want to improve relations with Ulm because I don't think they're really that good of an ally because they're only one territory. And they're also not an elector, so they're not... oh, let me talk about the Holy Roman Empire. So basically, with the Holy Roman Empire, you have 7 electors, which are 7 different states, and they vote for whoever they want to, basically, based on, you know, how much they like them, how they perceive them as powerful, all the rest of it. So right now, everyone's voting for Austria, and as you can see, all these guys have quite a bit of power because they basically control who becomes the Holy Roman Emperor. And whichever country becomes the Holy Roman Emperor essentially controls the entire empire. Not completely, because it's actually more of a loose confederation, but the thing about it is that when you control the empire, you get a massive manpower boost, so that's extremely helpful, and that's why you always want to become emperor. Unfortunately, Austria is the emperor, and we all know that Austria is one of the worst countries to be the emperor, because they always fight their own wars, they don't help anybody, they're just extremely isolationist, and they have enormous armies, which automatically interfere with whatever you're doing, especially if you're right next to them, like me. So I'm going to try to stay away from them as much as possible and try to take as many vassals as I possibly can, just like in EU3. Thankfully, it's a lot less painful in this game to make vassals than to make cores on pretty much anything. So, first of all, let's look at this mission here. Okay, so it says, drive the Hohenzollerns out. So basically, I've got to take Ansbach. I gain 1 stability from doing it, and here you can read the little description of it. So basically we got to take out these guys. The Hohenzollerns are actually the guys who founded the Royal House of Prussia, like Frederick the Great. He was a Hohenzollern. So they actually were Brandenburgers before they were Prussians. So let's move our army up there. Good little 9,000 men. Looks like we've got a few cavalry and some infantry as well. Now let me explain the basically the way war works in this game. Essentially, you always want to try to use knights at the start because they're better at attacking generally than light cavalry, because they have more punch. Halberd infantry are better if you want to be aggressive, because they have offensive firepower in both shock and in morale, so that always helps. So we're going to leave it like that. And we also need to recruit a general, so let's do that. Oh, that guy's pretty good. He's got 4 in fire, 1 in shock, and 1 in maneuver. Also a conscriptor or king. Our king is just a little bit less good, so we'll just put the other guy in charge. And let's take this mission. And let's make someone our rival. Let's have 3 rivals, actually. Let's not make Austria or Bohemia our rivals. Let's leave them alone. We'll make the Palatinate our rival. Salzburg. And Augsburg. Those will be good. This guy, and this guy. That would be great. I'm going to try to go to war with Salzburg as soon as possible. Try to make them a vassal after Ansbach. The thing about it is that if you try to take over countries in the Holy Roman Empire, the Emperor will basically say that it is unlawful territory, even if you have a casus belli to take it over. Like with this, I'll get a conquest casus belli in Ansbach, but still it will be called an unlawful territory, so there you go. I'm going to get a minister here for military tech, because I need that right now. This should be helpful. Just to decrease the stress on my economy a little bit. I think now I want to build a little bit more troops before I go out and fight. In this game, if you have 50% cavalry, it's pretty much a good number, because that's usually what westernized countries can support. If you have anything above 50% cavalry ratio, that means that you're not fighting efficiently, and you have to adjust that. So right now I have 7,000 and 2,000, so that's well under that. So I'll get 2 cavalry units, because they're actually pretty strong right now. And then, yes, I do have a cold, by the way, so running this fan may not be helping very much. So, I think I'll leave that as it is, right there. And I think that's about it. So let's just start the game up. Oh, you can also tell what song is being played by clicking over there. So right now the one that's being played is called Land in Sight. And when you adjust the speed, it also shows it over here by the tabs being lit up or not being lit up. So that's cool. So let's go 1 day. Oh, that's right, I want to propose alliances with people. Oh, Mainz is one of the electors. That's good to have them as an ally. Oh, they're going to vote for me now, because they're voting, they like me better than Austria, apparently. Let's get an alliance with someone else that's right next to us. How's about Saxony? Let's do that. Saxony would be a good ally, good solid ally. It will accept. Let's also get an alliance with Austria if we can, or at least a royal marriage. That would be nice. Okay. Now let's get military access to the Palatinate if we can. Oh, I guess not. They don't like me because I'm their rival. Oh, I forgot to mention that the more diplomatic deals you have with people, the more strain it puts on your diplomatic side of affairs. So basically you can only have 4 different relations with Bavaria at this point, so there you go. Alliance, royal marriage, okay. Alliance in Saxony. Bonn seems to really like me for some reason, but they're a really crappy ally because they always get attacked by Switzerland for some reason. I'm going to actually try to form an alliance with Austria if I can. Looks like they don't really like me at this point, but that can quickly change if I do something about it. I think I'll form an alliance with Bohemia if I can. Well, let's get a royal marriage with them. Getting a royal marriage is actually a really good idea because that can solidify relations between your two countries. And it gives the aggressor a bit of a penalty when they try to attack you, so that's really good. Alright, we'll just leave it at that. I think they lose 2 stability. I think that's how it works. Okay, so they don't want an alliance just yet. Let's ask for military access. Offer an alliance with Bohemia. Get alliance Saxony. Mainz is an archbishopric, so can't actually get a royal marriage with them. That's too bad. I will get a royal marriage with Saxony, however. I believe Ansbach is going to get some allies. Already they're allied with the Palatinate, so that's just something we have to deal with. Improve relations with Austria. If you're involved with a country, it's usually best to have as many deals with them as possible. That way, it'll solidify your relationship with them as much as possible. And then at the end of it, if you can't improve your relations with them at all, give them a gift, or preferably just influence them. So I'm going to try to make sure I have really solid relations with these different places. I've offered them military access, they've given me military access, all that different stuff. Apparently there's a new pope, too. The way the papacy works in this game is that you basically vote for different cardinals to eventually become or rather, different bishops to eventually become cardinals who can then become pope. And one of them always is chosen as pope. I think they sort of vote based on a bunch of stuff. So right now it looks like Bohemia, Mainz, and Saxony are friendly towards me. Bohemia almost always votes for themselves because they're pretty powerful. Mainz and Saxony are voting for me. That's not enough to eclipse Austria, though. So I'll have to increase my relations with Trier and Cologne if I really want any chance of kicking them off the imperial throne. I think I will keep doing these alliances and other offers. I'll just leave it at that at this point because I should probably worry about getting this war solved out and everything. Alright, let's attack Ansbach now. Good, they're only allied with them. Oh, perfect, everyone will join the war. That's excellent. Will everyone join the war? I don't understand. I thought Austria was allied with me. Oh, I guess not. Okay. Let's wait until they are. Damn, pretty close. I think one more month should do it. One more month to influence them. Okay, there we go. I got him. Perfect. That'll like me a hell of a lot more. Oh, and I'll get military access too, just to solidify it even further. It's actually a good thing to be allied with Austria, because then you can get involved with wars that they're involved in, and then you can basically do whatever you want. Ah, here we go. So now I can actually vote for one of these cardinals. I think I'll vote for the one that's youngest and also has been voted the least for. So let's vote for this guy. Hence is supporting him so far because they've given him the most votes. I think I'll boost my stability too. You have to use these three different powers basically to do a lot of different things. Administrative is the most important one because it basically improves your country as a whole. You use administrative to boost your stability, which improves your country as a whole, and also to use administrative to make cores out of countries. Unlike EU3, you actually can make cores now instead of just having to wait for like 50 years. So, let's see here. What was I trying to do again? Oh, that's right. I was going to see if I could actually get this offer sent out to Austria. Okay, there we go. Good. So everything's been sent out to Austria. I'm influencing them. That's good. Alright, now let's declare war on Ansbach. Oh, looks like Austria won't join the war. That's okay. Just as long as almost everyone does. That way, it's a pretty solid war, and I'm not having to fight the Palatinate by myself. Looks like they won't get away. That's good. So right here, you can see that they have no leader. They have Latin medieval infantry, so that's correct. They should be using those guys against my aggressive guys, but the problem is that my army is so much better than theirs. It's just going to be a total disaster for them, as you can probably tell. So that's it. Numbers is the main thing that really governs how well you do in this game and in battles, so don't worry if you start losing a lot of men, because frankly, it is pretty much a numbers game, just like in Victoria. There's a little bit more control over it in Victoria because you have a lot more different types of units, just like in Hearts of Iron. But frankly, there really is nothing more than just, you know, whoever has the most numbers usually wins. That's pretty much how it works. That's kind of how it works in real life, too. I mean, like right here, you know, we had no overwhelming majority of men. We just pretty much slaughtered them entirely. So I'm going to go over here and siege the Palatinate capital, and just leave some men here so I don't lose a massive amount of men to attrition. Attrition isn't quite as bad in this game as it is in Victoria 2 or in EU3, but it can still be pretty goddamn painful. Especially if you just leave men in sieges. That's always the part that really gets bit the most. Sieging armies. I guess I could improve relations with Bohemia. They're probably the one that I really want to do that the most with at this point. Always try to be friendly with the big powers, because if you can get a lot of good alliances going, you're going to get extremely strong. As long as they don't fight each other, or you get called into a war against them. And ignore that war score, by the way, that it's totally based off of how much stuff you've taken. If you win about 1 million battles, you'll never win the war. You have to take stuff. Unlike in Crusader Kings 2, which is much more reasonable, where you actually win battles and you can win the entire war without even having to siege a single territory. Or in Victoria 2, where if you literally win everything, you know, eventually you will be given a victory. So, alright, let's see here. So I've already voted for this guy. I should probably keep trying to get him. Looks like Aragon's voted for him again. Aragon's voted for him. Good thing is they voted for him twice, so since they already overruled the Hansa, I guess they'll stand a good chance of gaining him on the cardinalship. What's this? Oh, this is a good event. So basically, I can either sell royal titles, or basically just affirm that nobility cannot be bought. So I'll gain about 17 gold if I sell some, but if I don't, I'll actually get 1 stability, and I'm going to take the stability because you want as much stability as you possibly can get. It's very rare that you get stability enhancing events like that. But you get gold a lot in this game. Only take gold if you absolutely have to, because it's frankly not very useful. All it really does is it makes sure that your country is stable and you don't go into debt. In reality, what really is the most important thing is that you don't lose a single war, because when you lose a war, it's very painful to rebuild. It always is. Just like in real life. Because you lose a massive amount of manpower, your prestige goes down just completely down the drain, and it's almost impossible to get it back. And prestige is really everything in this game, because the more prestige you have, basically, the more trade power you have, which is very important for trade, the more morale you have, the less mercenaries cost, the better spy defense you have, more papal influence you have, the more legitimacy you have. You can improve relations even faster, you have better relations over time, and you have less aggressive expansion impact. And aggressive expansion is basically what has replaced infamy. And it only affects countries that are like right next to where you are. So it's a lot better in some ways, you know. The only big problem is that some countries can be extremely dictatorial about making sure that you don't expand, especially if you're playing in the Holy Roman Empire. This is one of the hardest things I could possibly do. Alright, so I'm going to end this war with the Palatinate because they've... Oh, let's stop influencing Bohemia. Hopefully no one will sue for peace. Okay, let's get a peace offer with the Palatinate. Okay, let's take all their money. Wow, 108 gold, that's awesome. Let's not make them a vassal, that'd be a little bit crazy. Let's just do that. Nice, so we'll get 12 prestige. They'll end all their treaties with all those different countries, including Austria. And, yeah, that'd be really nice. Okay. Get 108 gold, too. That's really nice. Alright. Oh, we could transfer trade power. Nah, that's too much. Well, actually, let's think about this for a second. Do I want to transfer trade power, or gain gold and inflation? Yes, I think the trade power might actually be better, because the gold will just give me a massive amount of inflation. Well, inflation's pretty easy to deal with. You just sort of wait for it to go away on its own when you hire ministers, so... Okay, let's take over Ansbach now. I'm not going to annex them, I'm actually going to make them my vassal, and take all their gold too, so there you go. Alright. Now this should work. I get the exact same amount of aggressive expansion penalty from basically doing that, but at the same time, I do prevent the unlawful territory crap from happening. So basically, I can just hold on to that territory for 10 years, and then... Yeah, so everyone hates me now. Oh, not everyone. Ulm hates me, apparently. And Würzburg does too. You can see why. Oh, we've got too many diplomatic relations. Well, that's okay. I might end my relation with, well, actually, you know something? That's okay. Diplomatic power is not very important unless you're an expanding power, because diplomatic power is the one that allows you to colonize and stuff like that. And since I can't really colonize because I'm a landlocked country, it doesn't really matter, so that won't hurt me that much. Let's get a royal marriage with Ansbach, and let's try to make them as stable as possible while we keep influencing Austria. I'm going to take my army off maintenance, that way I get some more gold. And let's hire an... Oh, That minister is way too expensive. Yeah, you usually want to hire ministers that are only level 1 at the start, because usually you don't make nearly enough gold to just pay for them, basically. So, just make sure you keep everything in order. Don't try to overexpand, don't try to do more than you can. Do more than you have to, rather. Okay, so there's nothing more I can do, so let's just improve relations. You can improve relations up to 100 more with regular countries, but with countries that you actually control, like vassals, you can improve it to 100 relations. So you can get it all the way up to where you need it to go, as long as it's positive. Basically, in order to annex a vassal, which is your ultimate goal if you're doing it this way, of taking over countries, first, you have to vassalize them, obviously. Second, you have to have a royal marriage. Or actually, no, you don't. That was in EU3. In EU4, yeah, so you need a diplomat, obviously. You need 190 relations. You may only start annexing a nation which has been your vassal for 10 years, and with whom you have a relation of more than 190, or as an effect of certain peace resolutions. And it'll give you the exact time frame for when you can start doing that. So I'll start annexing them in 1456. Wow, the War of the Roses started really early this time around. I guess it's probably because England is losing the 100 Years' War pretty solidly down there. They've lost all their territories to the French, other than Calais. But Calais is up by Burgundy, so French can't really reach them. The little French countries can. They can get military access through Burgundy, but France can't, because Burgundy hates France. Burgundy used to actually be like the vassal of England, so they've supported the House of York. We'll see if they actually are able to do that. Historically, the House of York won the first part of the War of the Roses. That was the house that Richard III belonged to, and he after his, I think he was his brother, Henry IV, died. Was it Henry IV? No, not Henry IV. Edward IV. Edward IV died. He took power as Richard III, and then I think he lost a battle shortly after that to the remaining Lancaster forces, and then he basically died. And apparently they found his body too, so they've disproved a few of the things, such as how he was horribly disfigured and some of that stuff. He was a little misshapen in the back, near his back, because he had some form of scoliosis or other. But other than that, he was actually normal looking. So Shakespeare, writing for the Tudors, who basically were the cadet branch of the Lancaster family. He was writing for the people who had basically ousted Richard III. So you can imagine he probably wanted to portray Richard III in the nastiest possible way imaginable. So we'll see how this works. Basically, the War of the Roses, it started when Henry VI, who was considered a mad king to inherit the throne after Henry V, because he was just apparently completely insane. He had no idea what he was doing. He was portrayed as benevolent, but apparently he was really mentally disturbed. But basically, he was ousted off the throne, and no clear heir was around, because he never had any kids. So the two cadet branches of the Plantagenet family, Lancaster and York, fought each other, and apparently the English AI players decided to support the House of York, which historically is the one that won at first, so I guess that's the historical path. And what that means is that the English are going to have their work cut out for them. They're going to have to fight a lot of rebels, but eventually, once they've destroyed a lot of rebel armies, the ruling house will win, and the English throne will be dominated by a line that's either Yorkist or Lancastrian. So there you go. Depending on who wins. So even if you pick a side, the other side can still win. So Another thing I would like to say also before I continue on with anything is that taking over countries in this game can be very dangerous, especially if you're playing as a Holy Roman Empire country because of the unlawful territory thing. But if you vassalize, it may take a while, but you will gain a lot of territory very smoothly, very quickly. Oh boy, another revolt. Well, actually we haven't had one yet, but I hate revolts. You can just imagine. So we have a petition for redress from the peasants. So we can either lose 25 prestige, or we can fight 8 peasant regiments. Peasants are pushovers, complete and utter pushovers, and this doesn't do anything for them. So there you go. Probably just going to ignore it if they do that. So we're just gonna move into Niederbayern, wait until my army is fully morale boosted, and I'm going to just destroy them utterly. In fact, I think these other armies may even be going over to help me. I think they're going to kill the peasants for me. Look at that. Yeah, they're helping me. Look at that. That's nice of them. Thank you. I guess I'll just stop funding my army then. You'll be able to tell if a country is going to go to war with you or not. Usually you'll start getting claims, you know, like being declared on you and all that, you know, like you'll have a claim and stuff like that, so there you go. Usually that's how it happens. I've got a lot of gold, don't I? That's good. Oh. English Pretender rebels. Those guys are different from the other guys. The House of Lancaster, if you're playing as the House of York. It'll actually be called Yorkist Rebels or something like that. Or Lancastrian Rebels. Okay, let's recall the guy that's influencing Austria and go send him over to Bohemia to help improve relations over there. So Austria really likes us now. They're even friendly towards us. That's as good as you can possibly have a relation with someone else. Besides just this raw number, you actually have a relation with someone. So basically, when that's friendly, they're very amenable. They will always ally with you almost all the time, even if they're, you know, slightly pissed off at you in the number category. And they'll be really nice to you, generally speaking. And so that's a good thing. Mainz also likes us. Saxony also likes us, so that's very good. It's good to have powerful countries on your side. It's always good. Oh boy, what's going on here? Game. This is not funny. I don't like this. Okay, I guess I just went through a dizzy spell or something. I guess we can invest in a cardinal. Not that it really matters, since these guys have been voted for so much already. Yeah. I don't really have that much of a chance of... Oh, never mind, I guess we could just match him exactly. Alright. Unfortunately, he's supporting Aragon more than us, so... probably not going to be able to get him as a cardinal on our side. So it looks like if the Emperor were to die right now, I would actually become the Emperor. That's good. Because Brandenburg is voting for Austria, Cologne is voting for Savoy. I don't know why, they're just a tiny Italian state. The Palatinate is backing Hesse. Trier is voting for Brunswick. A two-province country, that makes no sense. Bohemia is voting for themselves, and Saxony is voting for me, just like Mainz. So my two allies are voting for me. And, of course, Bohemia is voting for themselves, even though they're my ally. And royal marriage partner. So I've got a lot of gold right now. I could consider building a building if I have a chance of doing that. I don't think I can right now, because I don't think there's anything to really be to build. Oh, I didn't know that Nuremberg had a bunch of starting buildings. That's cool. Some territories, even though you may not possess the needed... Oh, this is interesting. Huh. Burgundy is at war with Spain. That almost never happens. Yeah, so Castile is at war with Burgundy, Aachen, and Württemberg. What is this war anyway? Oh, by the way, this game has a really cool thing that's called a ledger. You can basically look up just about anything. You can even see what every other country in the game has an army. Like, you can even look up, well, you can only see the countries that you can see. So you can't, like, look up the Aztecs because you don't know they exist yet. So, like, for example, I could look up, England, for example. Let's look up England. See how large of an army they have. Oh, wow, they've got a lot of men. They've got 37,000 total, 23,000 infantry, 14,000 cavalry. You can even see their manpower, force limit. It's really nice to compare military strength, especially once you go to war and stuff like that, and things start to get heated up and everything. So let's look at wars. You can actually view all the wars just like in Victoria 2. So let's go to that. Oh, this is good. I really like this system. I hope they keep this kind of ledger system in Hearts of Iron 4, because that could really help. Oh, it's interesting. I don't think that should be appearing. It's funny, this current wars thing doesn't really follow the same logic that the army tab does. See, I can actually see that the Aztecs and the Mayans are fighting the Zapotec. That's kind of silly. Oh wow, the Swedes are fighting for their independence? Huh. Interesting. I wonder what on earth that's all about. I wonder why they decided to do that so early. They're completely by themselves against Denmark, Norway, Saxe-Lauenburg, and Lithuania. Huh. Interesting. Well, Lithuania is landlocked. They might not have a very good chance of getting over there, especially when Muscovy's fighting Novgorod. So... yeah, Novgorod's pretty much screwed. Muscovy is really the rising power in Russia. They almost always form Russia. Novgorod is pretty crappy, honestly. They're mostly merchant republic, and they have no real power. No one really likes them. They're just rich. That's about it. Looks like Burgundian conquest of Bavaria. Oh, that's interesting. They actually started the war. So here we've got basically Castile, which basically is Spain, Portugal, Milan, Lorraine, and Provence versus Burgundy, Aachen, and Württemberg. Huh, interesting. The Burgundians have German allies. That's very interesting. Seems kind of weird when they'd have allies that are in Germany. Oh well. So Burgundy's trying to take over Bavaria, eh? Is that what they're trying to do? Or what is it? Forgot it already. It is the Burgundian conquest of Bavaria. Okay. Ah, they've already taken it over. Provence. So it looks like Spain may not be doing so well against Burgundy. That does kind of make sense, because Burgundy is actually a pretty strong country. But there is one problem with them, however. Their king is historically supposed to die in the game. Alright, so now we control the Bourtagui, who apparently is a future cardinal who was supposed to be favored by Aragon, but now they're actually favored by me. Or he is favored by me. So, that's good. I'll get a loyal guy on my side there. I think it actually says when a cardinal or future cardinal comes from your country, it'll be like yellow or something. Like Amundsen and Aigner, I think, are actually the guys that come from my country. So sometimes they're more amenable to you, but I don't know. Not quite so sure how that works. God, is the 100 Years' War still going on? English just are totally determined to keep on to those territories, apparently. That's pretty stupid, if you ask me. They should really leave, because, frankly, they're just going to waste time. Oh, there we go. Looks like France took one territory in both places. They took over Normandy and Gascon. So England still controls Calais, Caux, and Labourd from France. What's this? Fall once, military access, eh? Oh, that's right, they're at war with Burgundy. Oh god, I don't think Burgundy's gonna do so well. Yeah, sure, France. Now they're at war with France, too. That's not good. Oh god, even Hungary. France got in alliance with Hungary. That's really creepy. Oh god, all these guys want military access. Sure, sure, sure. I don't know why on earth they want military access, but alright. If it helps them defeat Burgundy and make them a hell of a lot weaker, then I'm... Oh, you idiots. Aragon stole that cardinal from me again. Guess I'll just have to influence him once more. Sure, Hungary. So I'm actually doing pretty well so far. I haven't pissed off the Austrians, and I'm pretty much on track to take over Ansbach and fulfill my first real mission. So not only will I gain a territory, but also get one stability and get slightly more powerful. So that's always nice. All right, let's steal this guy back. Or I guess we can't. Okay, I guess we can only equal them. The guy who's most recently influenced a cardinal is always the guy who controls him, if it's equal. So Croatia, Bosnia just took over Ragusa. Interesting. Oh, a traveling minstrel. Excellent. Let's gain one more stability. You can have a max of 3, so it's at the best limit it can possibly be now. So right now the only problem with it is I have 150% stability cost modifier, but since I'm already at the max one, it doesn't really matter. So now I'm having all these great benefits, like 3% more trade power, more spy defense, less revolt risk, more tax modifier, more missionary strength, and more goods produced nationally. So overall my country is a hell of a lot stronger. Could maybe consider hiring another advisor. Would really like to get rid of that inflation, but unfortunately this guy just costs too much. Wish a level 1 Master of Mint would show up. You don't really have that much control over the advisors. They pretty much just gather around. You can only hire 3 at a time. Looks like I'm not going to be able to get that particular cardinal. Oh well. I guess the Aragonese really want him for some reason. Okay, so it looks like the Austrians have wrested control back over themselves. So unless I can get Mainz to vote for me again, I'm not going to be able to match them. And if there's a tie, it's always the guys who are the incumbents that win. They're the tiebreakers in that course of events. That war is really heating up. Everyone wants a piece out of that. Oh, some cosmopolitan patriots. They're the national French culture of northern France. That is, like the Ile-de-France, which is where Paris is. Yeah, France actually starts out as a non-unified country, just like in EU3, but more so because 50 years have passed and they've grabbed up some of the territories that used to be there by themselves. Some of the dukes that used to be completely independent, but still sort of under the thumb of France. Like, for example, Berry used to be independent. I think that means that... Oh, interesting. I actually gained another guy that is supported by me, apparently. Interesting. I wonder why I got all the votes for him. That's weird. Okay. Hopefully I can get that guy too. If you have at least 2, you stand a good chance of getting the cardinal you want. And when you're the papal controller, which means that you're the which means that you control the Pope, because he, you know, is backed by you, you'll basically be able to do a lot more stuff. So like right here, since Norway is the Curia controller of the Pope of the Holy See, they have the following benefits. They have less stability cost modifier, 1 more diplomat, more yearly prestige, 2 more advisors possible in the higher pool, 2 more papal influence, 1 more leader without upkeep, so that's nice. You can have another general, and also you have less aggressive expansion impact. Quite a lot less, actually, 10%. And you also get the benefit of being able to call a crusade or excommunicate someone, possibly. So there you go. Excommunication is very nasty because anyone can declare war on you then, using that casus belli. And usually they can just do just about anything to you. They can take over your country, they can do anything they want, basically. Well, it doesn't look like Sweden's going to win their War of Independence. Yeah, they just lost. As you can probably tell up there, they were almost completely occupied. They obviously had no military to speak of whatsoever. And it looks like the Palatinate's at war again. Good, I got the next military attack. That'll increase my military power slightly, and now I can finally build my first building. So here we go. We have the armory. Oh yeah, that's right. We gotta wait a little while because I just increased the tech as fast as I possibly could. So I don't have enough military power to actually build these buildings. So I'm gonna get my first armory. I'm gonna set it up in München because you get 30 more manpower base from that. Unlike here, you get 27 because this is actually a capital, so you get a lot more from there. I think when you've got more people in a certain place, you actually get more out of it too. So okay, we can support this guy once again. Got him. Hopefully, we can continue on this path of influencing people and just generally staying out of the way of everybody. Oh, look at that. The damn Bohemians. They took over Silesia. That's really nasty of them. Alright, well, I'll recall the diplomat from them, and let's start influencing Mainz again, because they stopped voting for me, so let's make sure that they're on my side still. Saxony doesn't look like they're ever going to give me up, so that's good. Oh, national epic. Yes, let's pay for it. We'll get more prestige that way. That's nice. I actually get prestige now, a little bit. Usually you get the most prestige from fighting wars, as in real life. So, let's see when we can finally start annexing Ansbach, considering 8 years have passed. I'm kind of getting tired of just sitting here, not doing anything. So, the 16th of September, 1456. Alright. So we gotta wait 4 more years and a few more months. Alright, very well. It's worth the wait. It'll only take a few years to annex them, so once you've waited that 10-year thing, you can pretty much do whatever you want. Oh, what's this? I see. So we give nobles a little bit more power. Privileges have to be earned. We've already got like 97 legitimacy. I don't think that's really worthwhile. Lose 10 legitimacy though. Get a little bit of a boost to tax income. Yeah, our legitimacy raises pretty high each year, so I'm thinking this actually would be a better thing, because legitimacy actually isn't very important. It's important in the sense that it prevents revolts a little bit more, but I'm not really worried about revolts, and all this other stuff is really not very useful, so let's just do this. Well, actually, I don't know. Salzburg doesn't really like me. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Who cares? Who cares about Salzburg? Sometimes you gotta sacrifice gaining more from a trade deal or something like that by hurting your enemy. But in return, you hurt your enemy. So like there, I actually made it so that Salzburg can't get as much trade income from me, I think. So. And obviously they'll hate me more for it. But my legitimacy is completely unquestioned now, so that's good. That'll increase my overall power. Gee, it looks like Burgundy didn't do so well in that war. Yeah, it looks like France gained Ghent from them. That's weird. Why did Ghent go over to the French? Seems kind of odd. Oh, all these territories are actually supposed to be part of France. Maybe they had revolts or something. That must have been it. Yeah, that would make sense. Seems kind of odd why the French have a core on it. Well, this war with France can't be going too well, especially since they're fighting a war with Utrecht. Undoubtedly they're trying to gain territory, but France is stopping them because, you know, France is a hell of a lot more powerful than them, so they've got to worry about them just trying to survive, basically. I have a feeling that France has a much larger army than Burgundy, even though Burgundy is a pretty large country, comparatively. We'll look at their army size. Alright, so we got Burgundy here. They've got... Oh, wow. Yeah, they've been totally decimated. They have a force limit of 34 troops, but 34 units. Each unit is 1,000 men, but they only have 3,000 men. Quite a paltry sum of manpower, too. Well, like just about what I have. A little bit less, in fact. France... You gotta remember, France not only has France, but also all those vassals, and they will join their war no matter what. So even though they have like 350 manpower, they're obviously fighting like devils. They have 18,000 men, well actually 19,000 men, and a force limit of 36. So they're easily going to crush the Burgundians because the Burgundians have no real allies. I think they actually just lost all their allies. Yeah, they must have lost the war against Provence and Lorraine. And now they're losing the war against France. That's not good. For them, at least. But the thing about the Burgundians is, as I said before, their king can die because historically he's supposed to die. And the other thing about it is that when he dies, Austria inherits all of that. All of Burgundy. Literally all of it. All of this, all of this. And that's bad. That's very bad. Oh, damn it, these guys are just fighting over that guy like crazy. Alright, let's try to influence him just a tiny bit more so Siena doesn't gain him, for God's sakes. What's this? I guess everyone smells blood. Friesland declared war against Burgundy. They're like just a tiny territory. This is sitting over here. Yeah, two province territory, rather. Burgundy doesn't have much of a chance. Fighting France is bad enough, but being at war with all these other territories is really nasty. I bet France is going to take some more of its cores from Burgundy. If Austria finally does inherit Burgundy, they have to have a royal marriage with them in quite a few relations. But if France does finally inherit Burgundy, that's going to be pretty bad. But thankfully, they won't actually get that much out of it if France takes a lot of territory from Burgundy. They might get like a few territories, but it won't be that much. Three more years. 3 more years, and then I can finally start doing something. Other than just fighting Aragon over an Italian cardinal. Future cardinal, rather. It's kind of interesting. Look at the rest of the world, because it's so different from all this other stuff, you know, in Europe. Europe is just a mishmash of stuff. Mostly Germany is a mishmash, but Asia and Africa are very different. There's a lot of big powers, just like the Mamluks and the Ottomans and the Muscovites, Golden Horde. Not so now, because Crimea is kind of kept the Golden Horde at bay. It looks like they're actually starting to take over some of their territory, so... Zaporozhye. That's the territory that the Cossacks moved to when the Poles came in and invaded Ukraine. They went to the other side of the Dnieper River. Oh, that's interesting. Galicia is independent. Oh, I think I know what happened. I think Castile might not have won that war against Burgundy. Interesting. Very interesting. So France waited until Burgundy basically had all they needed to in order to win the war against Castile, but they attacked right at the last minute, so they'd be as weak as possible. That was really clever of France. It's not often that Castile fights Burgundy. I could see why they probably would have wanted to, because later on, Spain actually does take over in the Netherlands, historically. Oh, look at that! The French even took over Calais. Wow, the French are really expanding like crazy. Yeah, that theme that you hear in the background there, the that means that a future cardinal is supporting you now. Or rather, he's being supported by you, so. Once he gets into power, he will vote for what you want and eventually become Pope that you like. And will give you papal controller thing. So here we go. We've got some ideas to do. So as of now, it looks like there might actually be more ideas than there used to be. Yeah, I don't remember some of these. Looks like they've changed the game a little bit. I don't remember these humanist ideas. Looks like they're different from religion. That's interesting. Whoa. Really? Idea cost goes down when you have all of the humanist ideas? That's really cool. Huh. Oh yeah, and I forgot, with the next update they also made it so when you have two different ideas, you actually get a certain bonus. So you want to take a look at this pretty closely just to see what happens. You also get various acts as well. Actually, you get acts that you can enact that are only allowed when you have two different idea groups fully unlocked. So like if I have humanist and which one? Offensive, I can have 5 less years of nationalism, so that'll make it so it's a little bit more easy for me to resist revolts if they turn out to be successful. Inspirational leaders. Oh, interesting. Now, quality, does it have anything to do with humanists? I really like the quality ideas. They're very effective if you want to develop a strong military. Huh. Doesn't look like humanist really has that much. But if you have quality and quantity research, you get 10% more infantry combat ability, so that's always nice. I think I want my military to be pretty strong, so I'm going to go quality first. You can only have 8 different idea groups, and they're researched over time, but generally you want to go for military, because that's some of the most important stuff. Don't do trade or any of that other stuff. It's just pointless, because if you're powerful militarily, you won't need to worry about trade one bit. You will make so much money from having so many territories under your control. It's ridiculous. Eventually, you'll just be able to crush anybody in your way. Because funding militaries takes a lot of gold, and mercenaries cost a lot. So, if you think that enemy armies are doing well by hiring mercenaries, that's an act of desperation. That means that they cannot afford to use their own men up in battle, so therefore you've got an enormous advantage over them if you hire mercenaries of your own. Because basically they've wasted all their regular men, so now they're having to hire guys that are just paid to do their job instead of, you know, actually fighting for the homeland, all the rest of it. Peasants are getting uppity. Well, I think I'll lose 25 administrative power, because that's hardly anything. 20 legitimacy, however, is, or 10 legitimacy, I don't know which one it was. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's both extremely bad. Damn Aragon. I keep influencing that guy over and over again. I might want to just keep on to the guy that I already have. So let's look at the electors right now. So it looks like Mainz is still not voting for me. Saxony is. Could just see what's going on with them. Oh, that's right. I'm still influencing Mainz, so that should help. Let's influence Saxony as well, just to make sure they're still on our side. Looks like I can actually get another free military leader for some reason. I don't know why. At least 25 power projection. Oh, that's nice. Okay, let's get another guy. I think I'm in my air military leader too. Oh, that's cool. He's got 1 in siege. Oh, this guy's terrible. All right, I'll just leave him in power. I think I've got armories everywhere, so yeah, I'm getting a massive amount of manpower increase from having all 4 my territories improve with armories. So I've got more less recruitment time as well, so that's good. So probably I'm 11th in administrative power, 15th in diplomatic, and 22nd in military. So I'd be a civilized country in Victoria or something. Alright. God, that war is still going on with Burgundy? Oh, we've got another military leader to hire. Alright. I guess we'll just get another guy. Okay, he's not very good, but I don't want to expose my king to danger, so I'm gonna put this guy on just in control of the passive army. So let me just look at my king. Oh, so it looks like my heir actually is 16, so he's okay. If my king dies, we won't have a regency. Regencies are bad because he can't really do anything. All right, let's get the next power. Ah, nice. Rivalry with the Habsburgs. I see. For the House of Wittelsbach. Is it worth it? I love these two things. It's like... I think this is infinitely better than the other one. I mean, for one thing, this gives you 5 more legitimacy and prestige. That would give me a big bonus to get more prestige. It decreases my relations with them by 50, but that can easily be repaired. And if I do the other one, I lose 100 prestige, so it literally goes into the negative, and really low in the negative, but Austria just slightly likes me better. I think I'm going to have a rivalry with them. It's going to be a friendly rivalry right now, but in the future, I'm hoping that I can actually oust them from power and take them over, hopefully. I'm going to get a marketplace as soon as I can. I have a feeling I might not want to keep recording here, though, actually, so let me just get it over the next year, and then I think I'll stop it there, so... Let's get a marketplace up in München. Actually, let's see which one gives the best trade power bonus. Okay, we'll just do it in München. Alright. Alright, we'll wait for the next year to roll around, and then we'll pause it right there and just leave it as it is. So this has been a pretty good start. We're about to start annexing Ansbach. And hopefully we won't go to war with any big powers anytime soon. So, without further ado, I will end this here and see you later. Goodbye for now.